Hello and welcome to the Catapult Systems Grant Management Overview. Today, we're going to provide a demonstration of our grants management system, which is built on the Microsoft Power Platform. In addition, we're going to be sharing with you a demonstration of our portal, which acts as a front end to the grants management system. We'll talk a little bit about our deployment approach and show some screenshots prior to actually jumping into the demonstration. My name is Spencer Stern. I'm joined today by two of my colleagues, Jose Flores and Miguel Martinez, who will lead the primary demo sections of this presentation. Just real quickly, Catapult is a all-in Microsoft system integration firm. We were founded in 1993. We mirror Microsoft. We have our business applications practice, our productivity practice, our data and AI practice, as well as our infrastructure practice. We also do have an app dev practice. Very quickly, our value that we bring to our clients is we focus on business-related issues. We don't get fixated on the technology. We try to understand what the client's business problems are and then leverage the appropriate technology solution to address the client's business problems. Very quickly, I just wanted to kind of run through three different projects that we have completed that are relevant to the demos that you're going to be seeing today. The first one is a public safety portal that we built to enhance transparency for one of the largest cities in the United States. This was specifically focused on ensuring that the citizens of this city had a conduit, had a portal with which to communicate concerns, complaints, etc., about public safety personnel, and that they would be viewed and acted on by the city. Another project that we've done, this is related directly to the grants management solution that we're going to be showing. We did some work with the state of Texas to help them build out from scratch a system, a grants management system. This one was built on Dynamics 365. As I mentioned at the beginning, the demo that you're going to be seeing is built on the Power Platform. However, we do have the skill sets and the capabilities of building out a grants management solution on either platform. And the last one here is another grants management solution that we built and deployed recently for the state of Nevada Public Charter School Authority. In addition to building this out, we are providing many types of enhancements around this, and the state of Nevada is working with Catapult to maintain this for the long term. So Catapult has been in the grants management space for several years. We really bring a lot of expertise to our projects. What I want to do next in the next couple slides is talk a little bit about the application details and how we go about delivering our grants management solution. The first focus is, that provides a little bit of an overview here. It's a very constituent-centric approach. It's focused on managing and mapping to your entire grants lifecycle. This is not a COTS solution. The big difference is we do not let the technology drive the processes and drive what you see. We spend time with your business and IT leaders to understand what your requirements are and then configure our Power Platform or Dynamics 365 solution to meet those specific requirements. And that's a huge difference between our approach and other approaches. That our COT solution just kind of like, here's what you get off the shelf. We configure it to meet your business needs and address your requirements. The first step that we take is an envisioning process where we get the key personnel from the clients in the room. We spend a lot of time explaining the governance structure, understand what your assumptions are, constraints, etc. We get to an MVP situation, minimum viable product. And then once we get sign up on that, then we build out the full production deployment of the grants management solution. The next step is around the framework and the implementation. We do install multiple instances with which to manage the MVP here, creating like a sandbox, a development instance, etc. It's very important that, once we have the MVP developed, we don't immediately jump to the full-blown production of it. Primary functionality, these are specific examples that in our previous grant management deployments we have utilized. This is not meant to be an exhaustive list, but just provides at a very high level some of the components of our grants management solution. The next piece is the dashboards, and this is something that Jose is going to spend some time with when he goes through the demos. We do have the embedded Power BI charts. This is a very big differentiator, that having all of both the grants management solution on the Power Platform as well as using Power BI, it's all on the same platform. And that's really important to ensure that there's consistency around the data that's being utilized, and the look and feel. The screens are similar between the grants management piece and the Power BI piece. The next step we do is the UAT and the training. This is very important for us to make sure that the right people are involved from the client's perspective to do the user acceptance testing. This is the last chance, if you will, for clients to get those final pieces of feedback into the application so they are ready and tested before we do the go live piece. This is a very iterative process and a very collaborative process that Catapult works closely with our clients on. And then once it's deployed, Catapult has an offering to maintain the system health as well as the system health, as well as the actual demo, as well as the actual production of the grants management solution. We can assign a coach and a customer success manager to the client who are dedicated to providing this level of support. And this is hands-on support that we do. In addition, we keep you apprised of the roadmap of upcoming changes that are happening in the Power Platform and how they would potentially impact the grants management solution as well as the portal. So a really important point to emphasize is once we launch this thing, we're not going away. We're staying with you guys. We're staying with our clients for the long term. What I'd like to do now is to introduce my colleague, Jose Flores. And Jose is going to go over the main features of the platform. And then Jose will then transition it to Miguel to talk a little bit about the portal. Jose?
Thanks, Spencer. So today I will be showing a demonstration of our grant management system. And let's just jump right in. So this page we see right here is the home page. So this is where users of the system will come to interact, and they'll get a quick dashboard of, just an overview of, in this case, the applications. We can also switch to grant programs, and we can dive into these dashboards a little later. But the first thing I would like to show is the grant programs. So this is just a view of active grant programs. So this is a summary of the grant program, and it's just a general information on the grant. So we have different tabs here that show more specific information. So if we could go ahead and go to Fiscal. Here we're able to kind of track how much funding the grant has available. Here is our calculated field. So this is the total amount that's been approved by all of the related applications. So all the applications that applied. And this is how much funding is remaining. In this middle section, we just have some controls that allow the user to quickly forecast how many applications they expect. Another slider here says how many % they expect to approve or disqualify. And this right-hand section, it just allows us to track funding sources. So we can add a funding source here. Go ahead and add it. And it's now shown as grid. This next tab is the application. So this shows all of the applications related to this grant and anyone who's applied. In our case, it is George Washington who has applied for a new flag and some boat repairs. Here you can see the account and which grant, obviously, and approved, how much has been approved. This next tab is the scoring section. So here you can set the scoring parameters on a scale, on a scale of the user's preference. So we can set that. We'd also add criteria. So this one currently has environmental benefits, but if we wanted, we can click this and we can add an additional benefit there. Over in this middle section, this is just a different type of scoring. So there's impact scoring with sliders on scales. And again, we can add, other other scoring. So we could say social benefit, and we could add the weight. So let's say 25%, and just save and close. And now that scoring will appear here in this grid. This next tab shows vendors. So we have approved vendors, preferred and denied vendors. You can actually click into this and get some more information on the vendor, as well as where that vendor has been approved or for which grants, and where they're a preferred vendor, and if it happens where they're denied. But let's go back to the grant, and yeah, that's about it for the grant. Now let's jump ahead to the applications. So this application here is an application that I created earlier through the portal. And so after it's created in the portal, it is then inside of the Power Platform and ready to be reviewed. So this top bar is called a business process flow, and it kind of guides the user to input data for different life cycles of the application. And so we're in the pre-award section, and so we can fill out some of these form fields here. So this is the program officer, which is myself. You also have the ability to add to add buttons, and you can attach custom logic, flows, workflows to that. And we can go ahead and go to the next stage. And now we're in this middle stage here. We can actually refresh this timeline. Okay, we refresh this timeline, and you'll see that an automated email has been sent. So this is just from our system saying, hey, George Washington, your application's been received and it's ready for review. We'll let you know when we start reviewing. And so as the program officer, we're going to go ahead and start reviewing this. So George Washington has requested $200,000. This here are calculated values. So let me show you how that works. So let's say he wants 100,000, and the category will be for supplies. Save and close. And then let's go ahead and add an additional one. Let's say another 100,000. And the category will be for travel. Great. So now you can see these two values here. We're going to leave this alone for now, and we'll come back to it when as the approver. This next tab is just the grant program. This is just a quick view of the grant that this application is related to. So you can see some quick information. We could put pretty much any field that's on the grant form. We could show it over here. This is just the scoring, so we could implement some sort of scoring criteria here. And then this is just related items where you can see the audit history from when it was created on the portal to when it's created to when it's being updated and things like that. So let's go ahead and move this to, or let's finish this stage. So let's set a follow-up date for 26th and say next stage. And so behind the scenes of this process, there are automated emails and tasks being created. So let's go ahead and refresh this timeline. And so now you see there are many more items here. So this first item is a task, and you can actually mark it complete here, but we're going to click into it. And this is a task for John Connor. And you might be wondering who John Connor is. And so this actually sends this actually creates a task for the manager of the program officer. So in this case, I am the program officer. My manager is the user, John Connor. So what this does is it notifies my manager, hey, via email, hey, where is it? This one. Hey, there's a grant application that's ready for your approval and your review. In addition to that, we also sent out another email to George Washington saying, hey, your application is now under review. And then we have these tasks here. And so this one's a follow-up. And if we click into here, you'll notice the follow-up due date is set to 11/26, which is the due date. And then the due date of the task that's set to the manager is 2 days before. So you have some lead time. So now we're going to pretend that I'm my manager, and we're going to go into this fiscal section. And so this user will come in here and say he wants to approve this amount, and we'll go ahead and pay it out. So let's save that. And that and actually let's go to this one as well. Let's approve it, but let's not pay it out yet. So we'll just save and close. And then now we can come back here and click this, and it will recap those values. And you'll notice, so we only paid out one of them. So the dispersed value is 100, but we have approved 200,000 of funds. And let's go back here. And so finally, to close this out, we will go here and say approved by John Connor. And oops, there he is. And you can say this is post review and finish. And that's the basic life cycle of the grant application. We can obviously add more or less there as needed. We're going to go ahead and go back to the dashboards here. And so this is the overview of all the applications in the system. And so here we have all the applications sorted by the grant. So these are the different grants, and you can actually click into these these items, or we'll cut that. You can actually click into these and select which field you'd kind of want to show. So we're going to go and show this by application. You have a multitude of charts available to view this data. So we're going to click pie chart. So there's two applications. They're both the 200,000. Go back. And then in this top right grid, we have the applications by category. So and the amount that each category has requested. This bottom left-hand corner is just some of the tasks that need to be completed and that are pending tasks. And then you can also switch these to sort by due date and then how often they're due. This middle part here is just showing how many applications are in which life cycle and of each. And then this bottom right hand corner is really just a quick view of awarded applications. And so next, we're going to go ahead and show how to create some personal views and then how to use those views in a report. And so let's go. So this is just the general active applications view, and we can click this button here. And this button will allow us to kind of customize the query. You can actually use saved queries. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use active applications. And then let's say I just only want data for this year. So we're going to do create it on, and then we'll say this year. Sounds good. And then we can save as active applications created, let's see, 2021. Oops. Oop, that's not right. There we go. And we can save that. And now we have this view. And actually, if we refresh this, we'll be able to see that view. And so now that view has been created here. The next thing I'd like to show is creating a report, and I'd like to demonstrate, how quick and easy it is to create a report and to use custom filters or personal views that you've created in the report. So we're going to go ahead and click New. So here we can create a new report. So let's go ahead and click the Report Wizard, and let's start a new one. Let's call it Grant Applications. And then we select our primary record type, so which would be applications. And here you can select the filtering criteria. You can either create a new criteria, or you can use predefined views that you've already created or that are already created in the system. In this case, since we just created a personal view, let's do that. And it uses the same criteria. And so here is where you can add your groupings and add columns. So our first group, let's do it by the grant. And then within that, let's do it by accounts. So we'll see which accounts have different applications in. So let's do account. All right. And then down here, let's add a couple columns. So let's do the application name. Sure. Let's go ahead and add the name of, or actually, no, let's do the total amount approved. Do total amounts first. Then we can also do, say, the program officer. So take a look. All right, and so now we have a basic setup here. So let's go next. And yeah, next. Just keep it simple. Great, and now our report is finished. So you also have the ability to share this out with other team members, and you can give them read, write, or any sort of access that you'd like. So now you see that we have a new report here, so we can click into this. So now let's run this report, which will open up the filtering criteria. Again, you can change it. Let's keep it the same. And now we have a report. So you can see it's grouped by the grant, and the account is shown with each of the applications per account. Oh, you also have the ability to click into these, and it will take you right to the application. So this is a different application that I started the other day, but you can do the application we were looking at earlier as well.
And this slide is the portal, which I will hand over to Miguel to go over.
All right, thank you, Jose. Let me introduce myself. I am Miguel Martinez. I'm a senior consultant at Catapult, and I'll be going over the demo for the portal part of it. So you can see here, this is an out-of-the-box template. This connects to the model-driven app that Jose demo here, and it just reads the data. In this case, we're going to log in, which again, this is out of the box provided by Microsoft. You can, we're going to sign in, but you can register a new user, or you can redeem an invitation. You can also connect to Azure AD, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, stuff like that. So it's pretty simple to do it. In this case, we're just going to connect or log in, I guess. Once you log in, if you navigate towards application, you'll be able to see the applications for this user that they have submitted. In this case, you see I just created one recently, and if you come here, you will be able to see it here. So we're just gonna hit create new. Again, out of the box, it filters out. So in this case, this account only has one user. So you'll be able to see it here. You can select it. And same thing for account. This user only has one account, and you see it here. And now you'll be able to see all the different grants that you can apply for. You can search for them based on name and stuff like that. So once you select a grant, you are basically applying for that one. So in this case, we're going to do a new application. We're going to hit next. And again, this is based on the forms on the model driven. So it mimics this, so it's easier to follow. You can set the amount you want to request, and you can put in a reason. You hit next. It will let you review your information if you have to go back or not. Once you're ready, you can hit submit. It will let you know, hey, your application has been submitted. If you go back to applications, you'll be able to see that, hey, your application got created. Now you come back here to a Dataverse and you'll be able to see your application is here. And then you just walk through the process like was a demo before, and just navigate to stages and just accept or approve or decline the grant application, and the user should be able to see that here at some point, and then should be good. So that's the end of the demo, and now back to Spencer. Thank you.
Thank you again for taking the time to view our grants management demo. If you have any questions regarding our grants management solution or anything related to business applications, please feel free to contact us directly. Our email and the website is located below. Thanks again and have a great day.